Hello everybody and welcome back to Mega Man Battle Network, the post-game. Now there are a few things that we could still take care of, and one of those things is I have to complete this library. I'm missing, what was it, like 30-some chips? We can only currently get 74. There was a way you can get all 75, but I'll be taking care of that later, once we get to 74, because we gotta do it the right way. Not just the, oh I got this thing, now I'm done. Because if you don't get all 74, well, even if you do manage all 75, you can still do it, but it's not as fun. But first thing we can do is once we head onto the net, everything is still the same, nothing has changed. But we can still go ahead and take on a few secret bosses that are in the game, which is what I plan on doing. So, yeah. There is also one more boss that we have yet to take on, his ghost form, which, if you've seen the last episode, I'm pretty sure you know is Magic Man. His ghost will now be roaming the net now that we have beaten the game. The life virus, though, there is no extra fighting that. You only fight the life virus at the end of the game. And then there are the 3 secret bosses. 2 we can take on now, I do believe. I don't know if there are any requirements other than beating the game. There might be one for your, the second secret boss, while the first one only needs to be having the game beaten. But I believe once you beat the game and get to like a certain level, according to the Mega Man screen, you're able to take them on. That might be the only requirement if I remember correctly. So we can just head for them because I'm already at the maximum level. I think level 70 is the lowest, the lowest you can have it. Or the minimum, whatever you want to call it. Also got a map, but it's like all over the place, so we'll be doing this just based off of like memory. I'm gonna try and head for where we fought Bomb Man first, because we want to get to area 12. At least it's the first place I want to head, and then we need to basically backtrack all the way to area 15. So yeah, it's gonna be a minute. Okay, let me drop that there and just destroy both of you at once. Probably could have done it a little bit easier, but yeah. We also are going to need to grind up some more Zenny, because there are a few battle chips that I don't have that we can buy from the shops. Specifically Higsby's. I'm not sure about any others, at least at the current moment. I did do a little bit of looking up at a guide to figure out like where all the battle chips are, because I don't know, realistically, I don't know anyone that could remember the location of every battle chip in the game. That's pretty rough on the memory. I can remember a lot of things in video games, and I remember the map layouts like pretty well for most of them, except for the first one, mostly because they're bad. But it doesn't give you like an accurate idea of like where you are anytime. So yeah, the only thing that does kind of suck is we're not as powerful as we were when we fought the final boss. They do take away like that overpoweredness, which it's nice to have, but at the same time, like, the final boss is already so weak, so making you even stronger is kind of redundant. Let's see. Oh, I can take that. Might as well collect what we can. There are still, like, a few of the World 3 bosses that do need to be taken down, because even though it's just their ghost forms, I do still need to fight them again to get the rest of their battle ships. But all of the stationary navies, like the Gutsman, Sal's, Woodman, I mean, like Sal's Navy is what I was basically trying to say, but all of them like Gutsman, Protoman, I've already collected all those, so I don't have to worry about them. And honestly, I'd say I'm at one of the, at least the higher end of the spectrum for the amount of battle chips you can have before you beat the game. You can realistically get just about all of them except for the secret bosses, but I didn't do that. He's gonna heal him up, isn't he? That's exactly what has happened. Okay, you can go down. And of course you would manage to dodge like last second. Whatever, I probably do need Dynamite 1 still if I get it. Cool. Did I need Dynamite 1 or Dynamite 3? I don't know. I'm probably going to be doing like a huge, fast-paced like chip grinding video. I might. Still kind of debating on it, but since I don't have much to go because of all the grinding I've done throughout the game, probably wouldn't be that hard or difficult to do. Can you jump down there? No? I'm hoping you will. Okay, I'll just take them both out and hit you with a Dino Wave or something. Makes it easier. Recovery 80. I don't really need that, but at the same time, I don't really have any battle chips I can use. I could use more of the invisible battle chips instead of Quake 3s because of how my folder is laid out. It would be more beneficial to have like more chances to go invisible. But at the same time, it's not something that's like, oh my god, I absolutely need to have more of. See, this is a dead end. I believe down here, and then we can get to the next area, because we need to get to area... We need to get to area 12, and I'm in area 4 right now. So it's gonna be a bit of a trip. Boom. All of them died. So hopefully this won't take too long for me to get there. I probably will be cutting away once I get to, this... At least area 12, because, yeah. Who are you? You don't belong here. You better get out unless you want to be deleted. Well, we're in the supposed undernet. Honestly, I don't really think of it much as the undernet, mostly because of, like, just how weak everything is. The viruses in this game I don't think are really scaled properly, because none of them are, like, incredibly strong or powerful. Like, you'll have some viruses that you'll see in later games that can easily get over, like, 200 HP, and even some of the strongest bosses, like, if you ask me, the first boss in the game, his strongest form is probably aligned with the final boss of this game, at least in strength, I would say. That's how I see it, at least. I don't see either of them as, like, being one stronger than the other, more like a match. So that's kind of why I think of the final boss in this game is pretty bad. But like I said before, this game isn't the greatest, but they do fix a lot of things in the future, which definitely do make this a pretty decent series in my eyes. But at the same time, the first game does have its faults, but then again, you look at a lot of first games in the series, not everything was amazingly perfect and fleshed out. Like, look at the original Pokemon game for an RPG. That was riddled with problems, but everyone still enjoys it. I mean, I go back to it. Not often. I prefer playing the remakes or Let's Go, but that's just me. It is nice to go back and just exploit some of the stuff. What do you have? I actually think I need Time Bomb 3, not Time Bomb 2. Yeah, I don't think you have anything I could use. So, let's just head for Area 9, and then we should be able to get to Area 12 relatively easily. I think. This shouldn't be too big of a problem. Or I'm just gonna be going... Or I'm gonna end up going... Wait. Now that I think about it, I am going the wrong way. Because this will lead me to Area 8. I need to go to Area 12 and Area 15, which connects via... Shoot! Well, I mean, it's not like it's that difficult to fix it. I forgot that this splits off into like 3 dead ends between Area 8, 12, and 16, but we're connected to Area 5. So, this is the wrong way. I know this. I've been through these areas way too many times. At least I connected, so I didn't have to worry about it too much, but it's still just like, how did I not notice that sooner and continue through Area 3? But, whatever. Also, if you're wondering why I'm taking, like, the long route, is because I'm kind of hoping we might run into, like, Color Man or Elect Man or whoever's hiding in places I need to be. Because getting their battle chips would be nice. Or at least the ones that I need, because I still need to get stuff like Color Man 2, Elect Man 2 and 3, a bunch of that stuff. It'd be kind of nice if I could run into them, because even when I was grinding and having to constantly run through the net and risk running into them, I still couldn't find them. I wasn't even looking, and it's like, come on. Being able to move depends on how well you fight. Well, I already taken care of this, so I'm not sure why I was talking to you again. So, yeah. But we're in area... Dang, which area are we in again? 6? I think? I think we're in area 6. Area 5 was the... No, because it goes from area 5 to area 9. Which one am I in? I think 10, actually. Thinking about it now. I think I'm in area 10. Because this will lead to 11 and 13. Okay, can you just jump to the middle, please? Thank you. So I can take both of you up before the satellite locks on me and my invisible wears off. Because that wouldn't be fun now, would it? So we go down here and then we... Nope, that's dead end. So we keep going down. Then we should loop around and get to area 11 and then subsequently to area 12. And then we also got Magic Man. I think he's hiding out in area 14. So, once we get to him, it'll be no problem, but I'm going for the secret boss first because Magic Man and the second secret boss, I don't want to spoil them because, ironically, both of them, this is going to be a minor spoiler for the second game, but both of them pop up in the second game. Why? I don't know. Though one of them does get a pass. Because he pops up as he never is in the games as like a World 3 Navi. He only ever pops up in the first 2 games as a secret boss that you can only fight in the post-game. So he does have that going for him, so he's not like a complete spoiler. But the other one pops up, not as a bad, well, he pops up as a bad guy Navi that you have to fight. But he's not necessarily with the group you're fighting, so this second secret boss could be labeled as a accidental run-in, and then you just fight his ghost, because at least with the character, it does make a little bit of sense, but that's as really far as I could put it. So, you'll understand more once we get to the second game, or I'll just be an idiot and explain it. One of the two things is going to happen. So, hopefully I can get through here without too many problems, because we need to get to the end. If you remember where I got the Fighter Sword B, I believe it was, that's where we need to go to collect our, but fight the boss. The only thing that sucks is he's going to be kind of annoying once I go for his battleships, at least probably next time. But yeah, one thing that kind of sucks though is we're not going to be able to fight a stronger version of what's it called? Trying to think. Well, okay, I'm just gonna say it. Is in later games, I believe starting with the third, the second technically gets it, but you have to do a lot of things first to get there. So I'll explain it when we get to the second game. But in later games, once you complete the entire game, the final boss gets upgraded to a stronger Omega type version. So it's kind of like a make a mistake, you die type of boss. At least it's what it was for me in the past. Oh dear. Okay, I'm actually like taking some damage and hiccuping now, which is not helping me in the slightest. But the final bosses kind of get like an Omega version, which is like their super ultra powerful form, where it's like, you make a mistake, you aren't gonna live long enough to see what your mistake was, realistically. I mean, you will, but they hit hard, they hit fast, and it is all kinds of crazy. One of them even, I think I mentioned this before, is I had to take down like 900 health with a Mega Buster that does 50 damage because I ran out of battleships fighting him. And this was after like using a bunch of like program advances and a bunch of stuff like that. Because the program advances in this game I don't use because, well, they're not good. I've used a few, but none of them compare to like even some of the basic stuff you can get in the later games. So that's kind of why I don't use it, because like having a bunch of cannons that launch off and make you invincible, like, that's not very useful. Like, a program advance would be like this powerful attack that you can get off, not just something that's like, oh, this should be like, there's something that if you're gonna try and put them in your folder, especially if they can use like the same code, like the sword chips, it should be worth your time to do it. But if it's something that conflicts, especially with like cannons especially, it's something that should be in your folder maybe for the early game for like that extra hard hitting attack that you can sometimes manage because it depends on how your chips folder comes in, and hit the boss or whatever you're fighting like really hard. But I'm gonna go ahead and just save right here because we have our first boss that should be coming up. So meet, oh dear, I have a lot of deadliness with me. Meet Pharaoh Man. He is a secret boss as well in the second game. He'll drop these laser beam coffins, I guess is the best way to call them. And, oh, he'll also spawn a Pharaoh trap, which is basically like the mines. Normally I don't step on them because, well, I don't, but I guess I'm about to take them out, so we might as well see what it does. And that's what happens. You get a bunch of arrows fired at you if you step on the Pharaoh trap. They'll fire... I don't know if they fire randomly or just straight at you, but once we defeat him, and I defeated him pretty easily because he's not that powerful in this game, he does get better later, we get Pharaoh Man P. So yeah, now Pharaoh Man's ghost will randomly run around this area. So I will meet you guys in Area 14 where we fight Magic Man's ghost, and then the second secret final boss before we have to do the whole chip grinding thing to get the third one. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I finally made it back to Area 14, and if we come up to this path here, we'll encounter Magic Man version 2. And other than having a little bit more health and still spawning viruses, he's practically no different than before. As you can tell, like, I've already taken him down quite a bit. And just that first turn. And Sharkman will be the easiest way to just deal with you. Just like, boom. Over. Oh god, don't get hit. I want that S rank. I put my controller down thinking like, oh, I can hit the button fast enough off of my left hand, and it's like, I only got one hand holding the controller. It's like, duh, I gotta dodge. But for that we get Magic Man M. So now we can head to Area 15, which I'm just going to run through because it's not like it's that far away. So once we get to Area 15, right near the end... Okay, I'm just going to let you escape. I already have pop-up. I don't need it. Bye. Just like, get out of here. I'm not going to worry about you too much. 10 Zenny. I mean, I don't really need all that much Zenny anymore. I do need to buy a few things, like I said earlier, from the shops. Like, okay. Go. That might actually get him to run faster. I mean, slightly, but yeah. But better than just kind of waiting around for you to finally, like, disappear. Because for a second I was thinking, like, does he even run when you have him at, like, 10 health still? But I guess so. I mean, it makes sense. It's kind of like one of those, like, quick reaction viruses. Even though it's, like, probably the only one in the game. Okay, this is going to be a little bit annoying. Okay, let you go up and completely miss. And that actually follows me quite a bit. Faster than I was expecting. Can you just, like, take damage, please? Thank you. Instead of dodging my attacks by going up in the air. I don't like the cloudy viruses. Kind of annoying. Get in the way. Okay, we don't need to go that way. We need to go up here. I'm actually, like, starting to remember these areas a little bit, but... Well, even though I'm saying that, I heard while it was off screen, I ended up going all the way back to Area 5 instead of Area 13, so even though I'm remembering these areas not very well, I need to go this way. And right down there on that path that you see, that's where we'll be encountering our next boss, so we pretty much have to run all the way through Area 15 just to get to him. Although at least I didn't run all the way to Area 8 before I realized where I was going, so there is that plus. To some extent. I didn't end up going all that way. But yeah. We're just about almost finished with not the entire post-game, but there isn't exactly much left to do other than take down him, collect the rest of the battle chips that I'm missing, and the final secret boss. So yeah, it's kind of weird, even though we've beaten the game, like I'm already so close to the end. It's kind of odd. I'm so used to, like, the post-game going on for, like, days. And why are you back? Get out of here. Hit you with a sword so you can run faster. I mean, I could go for another pop-up chip because they do pop up, and I think C? Pop-ups pop up. Yeah. It's not funny, but I'm gonna laugh anyway. But it's time for us to take on our second secret boss. I was about to say the final secret boss. It's like, no, this isn't the final secret boss. This is the... He's the second one. This is going to be annoying to deal with. Oh, viruses, why are you going to do this to me? Okay, take you down. Those are going to keep coming. So I'm going to take you out a little bit. Hit you with that. And just use another one to just make sure you can't get out of the way in time. So you don't move, Cyclones. But it's time for our final secret boss. Not our final. Why do I keep trying to say final? Now, this secret boss... What? This is where you're supposed to encounter him. What the heck? Okay, I'm gonna be right back once I figure out what the heck's going on, and then we'll fight him, so just give me 1 second, please! Okay, so after some minor research, I have learned that I can't encounter Shadow Man because you need to have 140 different battle chips in your library, and I only have 139. So, that's one problem. And then Pharaoh Man, you need to have it be at least at level 70, so because I was level 100, that's why I had no problem encountering him. So, I'm gonna be right back. There is a battle chip that I'm missing that we can, well actually I can just go there right now, and then I'll meet you guys back in Area 15 when we can actually encounter Shadow Man, but the battle chip that I am missing is a Lex Sword, and if we come to Higsby's shop and talk to the register, we could still, like, you know, buy chips and stuff. So, I can get battle chips that I don't have, like Repair. I do need that. Buy Repair. Did I already buy it? You bought Repair G. I think I just bought it twice. We do need a Lex Sword. I also need Fast Gauge. And Geddon. I'm just buying everything that I need. Interrupt I do need. I'm just buying everything just to make sure, at least for everything that I don't have in my folder. We also need this Buster Sword, which basically for 1 turn will turn my shot into a sword, which is, if you ask me, kind of useless. But there, now we have 147. So I will meet you guys back at Area 15, where we can actually take on the second secret boss. Please just give me 1 more second. Okay, now that I've gotten enough chips, because I did get 1 new one on the way here, Gaia 1, so I have 148, which means we should be able to take him on. And we can! So meet Shadow Man. Shadow Man is incredibly difficult. He is probably, in my eyes, the 2nd hardest boss in this game, and this is his first form. So his 3rd one does get a little nuts. So yeah, keep that in mind. What he'll do is he'll spawn in clones of himself. 3, so there'll be 3 of them on screen at most. And then he'll fire those little bombs at you, and if you hit one of his clones while he's doing that attack, he'll jump off screen and do that. He'll fire 3 shurikens at you, one after the other. If you keep moving like with the satellite fires, ow, you can get away from it. And he's close to dying, but I don't have enough to take him out with Sharkman. So try and use your Mega Buster to deal with his clones before he gets that off, but he did that to me. Well, actually, I'm gonna go with the Night Sword, because then it just takes 1 good hit instead of having to waste 2. If I can find him. There we go. Also, don't wait too long in trying to hit him, because if you wait too long, he will dodge your attack and go with something else. And we get Shadow Man S. In my eyes, the best battle chip in the game. Split into 3-star forward attack. I'm actually gonna put that in my folder over a Sharkman, because what he'll do is he'll split into 3 on your back row and fire 3 shurikens like he does at enemies. He can either split it up between enemies or target all 1, doing at most for this one 240 damage. And then once you get his version 2 battle chip, it'll do 90 and then 100. So you can max this out at 300 damage if you're targeting 1 enemy, or 100 across the board if you have 3 enemies on screen at most, which most times you do. So being able to get that like extra powerful damage on bosses and on enemies. I know I switched to Sharkman over Woodman because Sharkman does more damage and can hit all 3, but Shadow Man can target all that damage. Like, if it was Sharkman, he'd be able to target like 380? No, 390. 390 damage per hit on just the boss, but because he can't do that, it doesn't add up, so it just does the 130. So that's why I think Shadow Man is the best in the game, but that's just my opinion. But for now, I think that's going to be it for this episode. The next episode will be me going around grinding out a bunch of battle chips, getting the last ones I need, because we need to get to 174, and I currently only have 149. So, we got to take down bosses, and a lot of that. So, and yeah, I'm at my dad's lab because it was faster. But yeah, I'm just getting off the net because I want to head back to Lan's house. But anyway, I do hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Later.